So just in the midst of getting everything fired up here, got the scale on the tractor forks. I got to come over and grab my bag holder opener thing. I always pull everything out and shut all the lids in case we get a evening rain or something. Also got to make sure I got the right screen in there for making. I'm gonna make a bunch of pig feed first. That needs the finest screen that I have, which is this one. So got to switch that back out. Definitely not hard to do that. So the screen sits inside of here. This one's a little bit bigger. I use this one for hammering up the whole piece for larger animals, goats, sheep, cows, horses. So this just breaks them into chunks. So these spin around. See, I turned these once. I did a video where I turned them. These rounded off edges used to be the outside edges. So I switched them over. So now they're more square. Some of them don't have another option to be turned again. So, anyways, yeah, they spin around at about 100,000 miles an hour, and then smash the grain through that screen. So obviously smaller the screen, smaller the little grain chunks. So the pig feed people are requesting it basically be hammered into dust. So I put the smallest screen that I have in there, and they just slip in. Like so. Close the door, latch it up, flip this lid. I gotta push the auger in there. I put that black hopper under this auger. This just feeds the hammers. This setup here feeds the rollers. That's always for the bigger animals. Cattle feed gets rolled. Most of the sheep feed gets rolled really slightly. This nut back here, as you tighten it, it moves this one roller in and out from the other one. This other roller doesn't move. These drive the rollers. So if you loosen the tension off, you can just basically squish the grain instead of actually breaking it in half or crushing it. So the with that, like, it's kind of endless what you can do. People want different things. I've had people want, like, they want the peas to go through the hammer mill and the barley to go through the roller mill. So definitely doable. It's all what they want to do, what they think works best for their animals. Good afternoon. So we were just had a really good lunch. My wife ran to town to get some more stuff for making feed. She also this morning went and picked up some chickens. She probably didn't film any of that, but she did go get some more. She used the chicken trucker, got its first use today. She said it worked really well. I just gotta, it's unbelievable how hard the wind is blowing right now. It always does that up here as soon as we get we get Chinook type weather. It was pretty cold last week, and then it warmed up. I think my thermometer actually says like 15 degrees. So that's pretty good. It's not, I don't think it's too unseasonable that it's that warm right now. Usually November isn't, it can be a tough month, but end of October, start of November, usually it's somewhat decent. But the trees, I don't know if you can, probably doesn't do it justice, but even these trees over here with no leaves on them, and it's just going nuts. So fortunately, like I said yesterday or whatever video I did, we're so sheltered here that if you went out, you probably couldn't even stand up in between the grain bins up there. It's probably blowing that hard. It's like a wind tunnel anyways, but yeah, pretty wild. So I gotta make about 8 tons of feed, and I'm gonna put it in my truck and deliver it to the guy. We've done that before. That worked pretty good. But I got this auger swung out long so it can load the trucks. I got 4 ton already in that truck. I got another 4 ton to put in it. The mix mill is half full again. I've got all these additives there. I've been throwing them in. Not a real crazy process. I just, I get a ton of oats, put it in, get a ton of barley, put it in, put all the additives in there, let it mix for 5 minutes or whatever. Generally, if I can get the stuff going in all at the same time, dump the additives in while the oats are going in or while the barley is going in. You don't have to let it mix for so long. Drive the truck under, unload it, start the process over again. It's going pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to be able to deliver it today. It's already getting close to 2 and I'm only half done. So I think the guy was planning to be gone around 3. Okay, so today is hammer mill repair day. Had a couple things. Yesterday, there's a chute right here. So when the tank is full and mixing, this chute keeps the grain away from the unloading auger that fills the bags or fills the trucks. If that's all full all the time, you stand a better chance when you engage it of breaking the shear pin, because these don't like slowly engage against a clutch or anything like that. They're on or off. So when you have this slide all the way down, no grain can be in this auger or in that long yellow auger either. So odds of you can still blow shear pins if your tractor's running too fast or whatever, but odds are a little bit better that you're not going to. So when I was opening it yesterday, there's a chain and a gear. Really poor setup, but I guess, I don't know, maybe that's the best that they thought they had at the time. I know some of these models of hammer mills have, it's all hydraulic. So there's a hydraulic ram that runs the slide, and there's a hydraulic motor that drives this auger. That would be better, because then you could slowly engage it. It doesn't just slam on. You could slowly engage the hydraulics and start everything turning. But this one is all mechanical. So I gotta climb in there now. When that chain broke, the chain is attached up here. I don't know if you can see it. It runs down, goes around the gear inside here, and then goes down to the bottom of the slide. And this handle right here is what opens and closes it. So because it broke, part of the chain fell down. It's still welded on the bottom. I put a new chain on here. I got the master link. I'm gonna climb in there now, put it together. Hopefully, I didn't know how many links I actually lost. I mean, there was shrapnel everywhere. Okay, so I'm down here in the mill now, and looks like I'm about probably 2 links too much. Good evening. So it's just after 6. Time to go in for supper. Don't need to work. It's just, don't need to work so late anyways. It is Saturday. So we got our chain back on here. This piece that was broken, that's all fixed and back on, so the gate opens and closes. You can see it sliding up there. Now my dad was, this also has a winch, which is kind of unfortunate because the cord that was on it didn't reach anywhere. So I put a new longer cord on there. And then my dad was working, there was several leaks all over where this really fine dust was coming out. One was really bad right here, and what had happened was it had been bent in, so the flighting was hitting the tin. So actually did a pretty bad job. So he welded a nut on there so we could heat it all out and pull the bend out. And we actually had body filler, because that's all such light metal. He brazed it up a little bit, but it's so light and old and like rusted out that it just keeps falling away as you heat it up. You move further and further and further. So then I actually put this guard and everything back on there before I even pointed out those holes. But there's a fan in there that sucks the, when you're hammering the grain, it turns a lot of the grain right into dust. Like, it leaves some chunks, but lots gets turned into dust. So this fan, it sucks it out, blows it up this tube and into that cyclone. That cyclone separates the dust from the air. The air blows straight out of there and the dust falls back down the cyclone and falls back into the auger. So this is the other side of where my dad was fixing. So when that dust was falling in, it was actually just falling straight out. So we weren't getting the benefit of all that. But I got it tomorrow. I'm going to grease it up, oil it up, and then we're going to get her back out and get back making feed again. definitely when you're making as much as we are, you got to dedicate a day or two to stop and actually fix everything properly, because while we're running, there's a lot of stuff breaks and you're like, okay, well, just, you know, wedge that in there, or quickly weld this on here, put a tarp strap there, do, you know, do whatever to keep going. And that's, I mean, that is kind of fine as long as you do have a plan to actually stop and fix. So this weekend was we're going to stop, put it in the shop, get it all cleaned up, get it all greased up, oiled up, serviced up, fix all the things that are wrong with it, take it back out. We should be good for another few months of running. So it is 6. I'm going to go in. There's quite a bit of stuff in this video. I guess I hadn't uploaded one for 3 or 4 days. So, but as always, to everybody that watches, thank you. If there's any new people watching, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to try to do new videos every few days throughout the winter, as we're doing different projects in the shop.